Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ben, this is Books with Genghis Khan, and I have for you my mid-month check-in for May of 2023. And it has been a very successful last week in my reading life, so I can't wait to chat about two of my favorite reads that I can remember. First up, here is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Now, a while back, I tried out Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and I just did not vibe with the beginning of that book. I was just not in the right mindset for something that slow and that kind of older kind of writing style. And I have been slow to pick this up, worried that it wouldn't connect like it has for so many people. It's become so famous in the last couple of years. But I am so happy that a couple of friends of mine wanted to buddy read this and have a chat about it because I adored this. I loved it. It was a magical reading experience, really unlike anything I've ever read before. And I did it a lot with audio and a lot immersively too, because it's journal entries. It's all journal entries written by the narrator, Piranesi, and you get a lot of clues and a lot of interesting tidbits just by seeing how Piranesi spells things or capitalizes things. There's a lot of non-traditional capitalization of lots of words. And then the audio by Chiwetel Ejiofor was one of the best, most perfect narrations I've ever heard. It was very transporting and immersive, and I just loved spending time with the narrator, this very intelligent adult who seems also to have this childlike innocence and wonder at the world that we just rarely see these days in any kinds of characters. And so it was just a delight spending time with Piranesi, and Clarke weaves this mystery that you know something is a little strange in the beginning, and with the setting, as you get detail by detail, you start to try to piece together what's going on. There's a lot of dramatic irony where the audience, I think, intentionally starts to know more than Piranesi does, and there's a lot of tension around that. Just an absolute spectacular book that I was glued to and could not stop reading and listening to. So just one I will want to return to undoubtedly to reread again in the future. I was blown away by this. So yeah, nothing that I should have been worried about. The other great success this month was continuing in the Greenbone saga. This is book 2, Jade War by Fonda Lee, and I was totally enraptured by this from start to finish. It took me a little while to really get hooked by Jade City, but about halfway through I was, and then for this one I just hit the ground running, caring about all of these No Peak clan characters. Was so tense throughout, but there was a world-building expansion and a time spent in another setting that I wasn't expecting going into this, and it was a nice breath of fresh air because things are so tense in the city of Janloon that to spend some time outside in Espenia, it gave me a little chance to breathe easily, at least for a little while, in different chunks of this book. But I love the different storylines in this. I love seeing this clan war progress in kind of this Cold War behind the scenes type of way, and it has set up just a book 3 that I am absolutely in suspense to get to. I can't wait to read that one next month to close out the trilogy. So yeah, huge success by Fonda Lee. I was engaged from start to finish, easy 5 stars to award when that's the case, and when I'm caring about the characters and what's going to happen with all of them. She's got me hook, line, and sinker. The less successful read this month was where I started, which was with what I wanted to be a palate cleanser for maybe a new urban fantasy series I could really get into. But we'll see if that will end up happening. That's Monster Hunter International by Larry Correia. I had just finished last month with a lot of heavy reads, wanted something lighter, and this delivered in one sense that there were a lot of suspenseful, fun action scenes, and that is one of the things I love about Dresden Files is these long action sequences that are really tense and cinematic, and we get that in here. But this is a beefy book for a book 1 urban fantasy. It's 700 pages in mass market, and it felt long and like it dragged, and when we weren't in those action scenes, I just wasn't really hooked by the character drama. The overarching plot felt maybe like it was a little cheesy for me, like a lot of Marvel movie plots involving an artifact, this MacGuffin that opens a portal to another dimension so demons can come in and destroy the world. And a lot of the fighting is the main characters, they're not magical. They're just vanilla humans who use guns and explosives. And the main character here was Owen is not one that I could really connect with too well. I felt like there was a horrendous romance plot that was so cheesy and seemed like a lot of author wish fulfillment going on. And so, yeah, I think it's supposed to be cheesy, though. Correa said in an interview that he meant to write pulp, and I'm just not familiar with that genre in general. I never read many comics. It feels pulpy, kind of like the feel of the movie The Mummy. But I maybe just like that sort of thing in film form more than book form. And so I'm going to give it, this is a debut, I'm going to give it more of a chance because debuts are often a little rougher around the edges than future books. So I bought the next bunch at a used bookstore cheap. So I'm going to continue to try and see what happens. But it was intermittently engaging and amusing and fun. But it was just so cheesy in some respects that it took me out of my immersion. And the cheesiness made it hard to really care about the characters and the plot. And I felt like it was rather predictable at various points. So not exactly what I want from a palate cleanser being that long, and also just didn't give me that Dresden feel where I could so relate and connect to the main first-person POV narrator character. But we'll see. We'll see if it can become more of that. But if not, oh well. It was still okay, but not one that I am going to really recommend to lots of people right now. Based on this first entry. All right, now what am I reading now? I have started A Feast for Crows, the next book in the Song of Ice and Fire. Never read this book before. Heard that it diverges a good amount from the show, more than the previous books had, so hoping to get some fresh new things happening that I'm not expecting. And I was invited very graciously to join a live chat by the Bald Booktuber at the start of June for this book, so I wanted to start it nice and early. I just have to keep up a pace of about 50 pages per day in my MMPB to make sure I finish that on time, so gonna try to savor that over the next few weeks. Also, good start here with the prologue in Old Town with the new character Pate, and we also go to Dorne in the beginning, so a couple of new settings to start, which is great. Love getting that world building expansion. Otherwise, I have the book 2 in the Sundered Nation trilogy by Von Roycroft. This is an arc, a physical arc of book 2, Bold Ascension, and I loved The Severing Sun last month, and I can't wait to get to book 2, and I'm going to dig into this over the next couple weeks as well, alongside of A Feast for Crows. So I am loving these series that I'm in the midst of right now, and then after that I'll probably go to book 2 of Live Ship Traders as well, and then next month finish up Greenbone Saga and Live Ship Traders. So all of these very meaty, heavy, really amazing epic series that I am just loving. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the mid-month update, and I'll catch you later.